friends, it's me, Stacy. Happy Saturday. Happy pre-4th of July festivities if that's what you're doing. So, it's time for some mom chats. Yay! Okay, my notes are on this phone now. So if you see me look down, I went from paper. I didn't have paper on me, but I have my phone, right? We always have our phones. Okay, so if you're a mom or a dad or a parent or basically anybody that lives with children, you can let me know in the comments below. Type mom, type dad, whatever. Because mom chats is basically what I built it on, is the whole concept of people say they do not have a village to tap into. They don't have that circle of mom friends. So I basically share my mom friends. And sometimes I do interviews. But this one was just something that happened to me today. It was a moment I had, and I was like, I'm just going to share it. I don't have an interview. But if you want to chime in, by all means, chime in. Because like I said, that's what this whole mom chats little series is about. Okay. So, we are still doing a share giveaway on Facebook. Just want to say that real quick. So definitely share this out to your mom friends that you think could benefit from this. And then comment shared here. That gets you entered into the giveaway for my TikTok and Instagram friends. You're going to have to switch on over to Facebook to get in on that, because it only happens on Facebook because I don't know how to track it on y'all's end. And if you miss any part of this, instant replay is on Facebook. And as always, I will upload it to YouTube tomorrow. I still have a couple to upload. Not going to lie. Okay, friends. So, when you do chime in, I do like to do this little disclaimer, is definitely keep it nice. I know when it comes to mom chats, there are different opinions. We don't have to agree on the same thing when you're raising your child, raising children, whatever. It's totally up to you. The whole purpose of this was to help give others ideas that, again, don't have someone they can reach out to. So if you don't agree with the idea, agree to disagree. If you would like to expand on it, go ahead. Like I said, it's basically us brainstorming here. And this one is more to help me. So hopefully y'all have some insight that you can give me. And we'll go from there. Okay? So I had this moment today. I told you, right? It all based off of this moment today. So for those of you who don't know, and I forgot to do, anyway. For those of you who don't know, I work from home. So every morning I have what I call a power hour. Now, Monday through Friday, I can simply tell, I get the kids set up and everything, and I tell them, okay, mommy's working. Mommy's working. They know the power hour. So they go watch TV for this hour. Now, if it's dire and it's an emergency, they can tap in and get my attention, right? I'm listening to them, but it's let mommy work for this 1 hour. However, when it comes to Saturday and Sunday, I kind of feel like, I can totally focus in on this power hour because daddy's home. Daddy's home, right? Doesn't always happen that way. So anywho, the moment that happened today is my little, what was she wanting? I don't know what she was wanting, to be honest. I don't remember. And I told her, mommy is working, right? That's kind of like me setting up that boundary. Mommy is working. Go tell daddy. He's right in the room. And usually it's he's sleeping, he's whatever, it's always something. And that, it basically boils down to being the default parent. I don't know if you are familiar with default parent. If you are a default parent, you can type default parent below. Without a doubt, I am the default parent, and that basically just means if dad is sitting right next to him on the couch and mom is upstairs in her office doing a live at this very moment, but she wants a drink of water, she will go past the living room, up the stairs, to get to me to let me know. That's basically the default parent, right? And it's just they're with you the majority of the time. It's a default. They just go to you, right? Without really thinking about it. Anyhow. But the thing that happened today was whatever it was that she wanted, it was imperative. She was very no, I need it now. But she didn't want to go tell dad. And I said, well, if it is not as imperative as it sounds, because if it was, you'd go tell your dad, then you're going to have to wait till mommy gets off of this power. I had 30 minutes left. Dad even came out to check on her, see what she wanted. She said nothing. I don't need anything. She sat quietly in the living room playing with her toys till mommy got off of her computer and then was like, can I have this? And it's just what in the world? So that was my moment, and it brought this thought to mind. I have these pings, I call them, where I get this ping, and it's maybe we shouldn't totally disregard this. I like to say it as the Holy Spirit tapping in for me. And that question kept staying in my head is, why won't you go tell your dad? So this whole talk is about, do your kids come to you with the little things? Because in my mindset, it starts with the little things, right? Because if they come to you with the little things, they will come to you with the big things. Now, to me, that was when I had that ping, I literally told him, I was like, it's frightening to me that she won't even go tell you this. Because I don't know if you're like me. I have these like, where I'm looking 15 years into the future. She's 15. She has an issue happening. Mom is not around for whatever reason it may be. Is she going to go to her dad to tell him? That's just me. I don't know if you do. Do you have moments where you look into the future? Anywho, so that's kind of what I wanted to chat about. I truly have no idea where to go with this. Now, to give you some context, my little, she is 4. And again, I am the default parent. I work from home. We homeschool. And dad works, right? So, but I'm like, I guess the main question is, how do you get your child to share those little things with you? So chime in on anything at any point. I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I've done with my big kids. And of course, anytime I ask y'all something, I do my research myself. So I'm coming to you with some things that I was like, those are good. I'm going to share them. But again, you can head in your, whatever it is you do. Okay. So, I will take it back a little bit, because just with everything that we've been through, it was definitely something that I personally had to work on when it came to my bigs. Now, we've had there's a whole other chapter that deals with trauma. We're healing from it as I'm healing, trying to help them heal and not cause any more trauma in the process, right? So this is something that we've had to work on, basically to build trust and understanding and put up boundaries, all these type of things. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed that does help me is telling my kids that, this was like where it started, because it was when my daughter said, well, I didn't want to tell you, this one being my oldest, because I knew you'd get mad. And right away in my head, I'm like, if you know I get mad, why would you do it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was reacting. And so that is kind of when I was like, okay, we need to address this. And so basically, since that point, I've grown a whole lot. I've healed a whole lot. But that point, I would tell them, I need you to come to me even when you think I'm going to get mad. And I can't guarantee that I'm not going to get mad. I may react, but know that that is my initial response. But stay with me and keep trust in me that we can get through this. Because we were just in a very hard point of our lives, right? So I needed that to be known, and then we kind of grew off of that. And that is what I worked with my bigs. With little man, it was a whole nother thing that I had to work with him, because he went through a whole new thing for me when it came to leading up to him being identified as being dyslexic. There was a whole different type of trauma that I didn't even know was happening. And then we had to come back from that. And now here's baby girl. And so I'm kind of like, ah. So if you know something, tap in, let me know. I'm going to give you, I found 5 things that I was kind of like, these are good. And I'm going to share them with you. And I do want to tell you, because if you did watch our first Mom Chats, when I did an interview with Kristen, the thing we were talking about is, how do you have hard conversations with your kids? And essentially this goes along the same lines, but with that topic, it is us going to our kids and talking about the hard things. And mine was, how do I get them to come to me with the hard things? But it all kind of goes together, and that's when I found these 5 things. So, whoop, 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 I lost my notes. Okay, so number one, put your phone away. Are you guilty of that? I work from my phone, so yes, I am guilty of that. Put your phone away and listen to your little ones when they want to tell you all the details of their days. And that is something I had to work on with the little man. It also did require, in his case, some boundaries too, because he would want to tell me everything as it happened, which is not a bad thing. So it became let me finish this, and then I'll put my phone down. Let me do this, and let me put this away. Because I do have set times in regards to me of when I work. And that's what I mean by boundaries. It's like from this time to this time, mommy needs to do this. And then after that, I devote to my kids. That 1 hour in the morning, I knock out my work, and then I devote to my kids, to my home, to whatever else, homeschooling, whatever we have on that day. But to truly listen to them, because if you're on your phone, just scrolling, while you're listening, you're not really listening at all, right? And my mind thinks in a business aspect. And one thing that came to mind is when, like something that I always tell people, if you just listen to what your customers are saying, they will tell you exactly what they need. Yes, it may sound like they're griping, but in that gripe, it is exactly what they need. Yes, it may sound like they're rambling, but in that rambling, they're telling you exactly what they need. And so, and this is kind of what started it all with Lil Man. I heard a quote once that was, I didn't even look it up. So I don't know if this is exact. I just jotted it down and told myself to look it up. But we listen to respond, not to understand. Like we're listening simply so we can go, oh, okay, instead of listening and taking it in to fully understand why they're telling us what they are telling us. Because I've been there, and guys, this is nothing to be like, you bad, I good. Because anything I tell you, it's out of experience. I've done it before. When you're having a conversation, with the phone, right? And then you hear this key word, and you're like, whoa, wait, what? Huh? And then you realize you didn't hear any of that conversation, because as they're replaying it to you, you didn't hear any of it, right? Woo! So, we have to listen to understand, especially when it comes to our little ones. Whoa! Okay. And I really like it. If we're not doing that, if you aren't really listening, there's two things that can happen from that. You're going to miss an opportunity to learn something about your child, or that you could teach something to your child. Because again, when they're rambling, even though they may not be fully aware of why they feel compelled to tell you this, they're needing something. Something is not. You know what I mean? There's something within that. And the second one is, about and teach your child. That the second one is what they are learning from you is that you don't really listen. And so, bottom line, there's no point to talk to you. And when I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, how many times? Because I know I do it now as an adult. I will tell you, it's like when people say, how's your day? And you start to tell them, and they're like, okay, bye. Did you really want to know about my day, or were you just small talk? So now when people tell me, how's your day? It's awesome. And I leave it at that. But then I will find the people who really do want to know will be like, really? Why? And then they'll start to talk. And it's those people, right? It's that, why am I going to talk to you if you could care less of what I'm saying? So that, when I'm thinking of a kid, that their car did this really cool trick, it's really important to them, even though it may not be important to us. So that kind of put me in that mindset. So number 2 is train yourself to listen and not overreact. This is the one that I was telling you about when it came to my bigs, and how I told them that I may get mad at first, but that's my reaction. And I definitely have worked at that. It comes every now and then. It makes its appearance, but definitely have worked on that with them. And one of the biggest things in addition to that I've learned to start saying now is when they do come to me and they're looking for, I don't know, they want to talk for whatever reason, right? I ask them, are you needing to vent, or are we looking for a solution? Because one of the biggest things when my kids would come to me and they'd tell me an issue, I'd automatically try to fix it. Oh, just do this. Just do this. Just do this. And that kind of just adds to my default parent. Just go tell Mom. She'll tell you what to do. And so instead of just doing that, now I don't. I ask them, are you looking to vent? And if you're looking to vent, I will kind of tap out, just in the sense that I don't want to react to it, but I need to listen, because I'm obviously, again, they are telling you something, right? I have also given them the authority to call me out when I do react, or if I do say something that is going to hurt them or anything like that. I'm like, you need to call me out on it too, right? Because I may not see that I am doing it. And so, along with that, when I do have that little ping and that Holy Spirit tapping in, I apologize right then and there. Okay, that was wrong what I did. Because then it shows them. It's a model for them. And it also shows that I have, I have emotions too. I'm not some, I don't know how to put that. So anywho, okay, number 3 blew my mind. If it blows your mind, let me know below. So number 3 was keep confidences. Everything your child tells you is privileged information. That was a mindset shift all on its own. I've never thought of it that way, and now I will forever think of it that way. And basically what it was saying when it mentioned that is, think of when you told someone something and they just told someone else. And it could have embarrassed you, or it could have been something that you didn't necessarily want Barbara to know, but, Kelly went off and told her kind of thing, right? So when they do come to you, it's basically building that trust is what I see here. And keeping that confident. And just having that between you. Now, if it is something that does need to be brought up, that needs to go beyond you for whatever reason, definitely talk to them about that. The importance of why I'm going to share it with this person. So that it's not a shocker to them. So that was a mind shift for me. I don't know about you, but... Okay, number 4, start small. There is no perfect timing for the big conversations, for those hard conversations. There is never going to be. It's not going to be like, you know what, we're good till she turns 5. I still have a whole year to figure out how I'm going to talk to her about this. No, it doesn't. So you need to start having those big conversations, those hard conversations now. And the part that I agreed with on this is that, like, I agreed there, but meeting them where they are. I'm not going to tell my 4-year-old the same thing that I'm going to tell my 19-year-old. You know what I mean? So meeting them where they are, telling them just enough information to address the issue, the question, whatever it may be, and then go from there, right? They don't need to know the whole thing, just to answer their question. You don't want to overload them, and definitely speak it in a way that they understand. Don't use words that they're not going to understand, right? So I really like that, because that was one of those things where this morning I took that pause and I was like, okay, why are we not going to Daddy with these little things? And just starting that conversation. And the more you do that, you're going to be able to build on it. So maybe you just, out of this whole conversation, you just told them a little bit when they were little. As they become preteens, you're able to expand a little bit more. As they become teenagers, a little bit more. And, depending on the topic, of course, they may need to know it before they hit their preteens, whatever. But that also helps the conversation happen naturally. It's not going to be something that they're kind of thrown off, like, why are we talking about this? And then number 5, which is my biggest, I even said this last time, is to tell the truth. And I wrote this verbatim from what it said. It's tempting to tell your child that the shot at the doctor's office won't hurt. But why should they trust you after that? If you want to build a relationship of trust with your child, be trustworthy right from the start. And that was so good, because I've had issues in my life where that one, it's like, if you lied to me about this, where else are you lying? This one thing that didn't really matter. And, like, do you know what I mean? And so that is one of my big things. That is something I've talked to my kids. Just tell the truth. Because in all honesty, when it comes to me, if I find out she lied, we're in it's a whole other thing. So, yeah, you guys. So that was my input. If you have anything to add to it, let me know. Like I said, the instant replay will be on Facebook. And then I'll have the replay uploaded to YouTube as well. Woo! So yeah, but help a mama friend out. I am running with these things. It's something we're still going to work on, because this is not something you can just turn on and be like, okay, we're going to start this today. And tomorrow will be good because we started it today. No, it is definitely, from what I'm seeing, something that has to be built on. My question really is, though, because I obviously have this stance, but how do I tell my children to go to the other parent? That the other parent can do and help them too in that stance. And maybe I can't. Maybe it's something they have to do. I don't know. That's the part I don't understand. So if you know, mama friends, let me know. Again, we were talking about how it starts with the little things. Does your child come to you with the little things? If you got value out of this, definitely let me know below. Share it out to your friends, and feel free to continue the conversation in the comments. That way I can come back and see what y'all said. Otherwise, friends, that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to share that. And so I will see you the next time I go live. Bye, you guys. Thanks for watching.